Welcome back, folks. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the OLIGHT Green ArkPro. This is a beautiful green color. We're going to put this light to the test and then we'll head back to the workbench and cover all the relevant features. Now with our green ArkPro, the first thing we'll take a look at is turbo mode. And so the good thing with the regular ArkPro is we have the floodlight function. We also have the spotlight function. So let's go ahead and quick double press here on the button and right into turbo mode. And so you can see with turbo mode that it really kind of just totally floods the area with light. And I'm actually doing a quick bear check all the way around me, 360 degrees, just to make sure that everything is okay. And so with this, you could see in that type of situation, I can really kind of cast a lot of light out there and really light everything up. A lot of people, they kind of, a lot of times will critique a, like turbo mode, but it's quite good because if you really do need to flood an area with light very quickly, that turbo mode, you activate it right away and you can take in the whole scene in front of you and totally douse it in light until you can kind of figure out what's going on. So a quick double press again and right into the spotlight function. And the spotlight function is great for, with this, the nice thing is the way the beam cuts off and everything, is you still have light in front of you to walk, but it concentrates the beam out at a further distance. And so let's go ahead and look all the way up. I can see, probably the camera won't pick it up as well, but I can see very clearly all the way out to 100 yards. So the spotlight is where we really want to focus in on that beam on a particular spot and also go for more distance as well. That's where that's really going to come in handy. Now, if we need to activate moonlight mode, we just hold it down for a second and moonlight mode comes on. And moonlight mode is great where if we just need to do something around camp or we need to read something or whatever, that's where moonlight mode really comes into play. Any little kind of small little things that we need to do where we don't need a huge amount of light around us, moonlight mode is perfect for that. And it really saves the battery life as well. I'll put up the data there in terms of how long the battery will last if you just use moonlight mode. Now, if we just need to adjust the light, basically we just hold down the button to adjust the brightness and we can go ahead and change that brightness there, hold it down again, get to the next level here, and then again, and just cycle through all the way through all the different settings. And then if we need to rotate to spotlight mode, same deal, we can hold the button down and cycle through. When you find the setting that you like, just stop, simple as that. And even at the lower setting here, I'm still getting plenty of light out, out a good distance. So if I had to walk with this or something along those lines, very easy to do. Next thing is our UV light. Essentially, the UV light just gives you a lot of options to be able to see things that you ordinarily would not be able to see with the naked eye. And so, for instance, like in public bathrooms or hotel rooms or different things like that, by basically casting that UV light out there, anything that fluoresces, it'll go ahead and pick that up. Then our last feature here is the laser pointer here. And so with the laser pointer out in front of us here, this is the lowest setting. And if we hold the button down, it'll go to the higher setting. And so that laser there, it's really good for a lot of different situations where you might be, for instance, working in a factory or something along those lines. And you basically need to point out something, or if you're working in construction or something along those lines. Now you can also combine the light with it as well. And so let's go ahead and do the spotlight here. So I have the laser there in basically with the spotlight. We'll go ahead and put it here on the highest setting and right here against the wood and all that. And so, if you need to point something out, it's nice and handy, and you can also combine it with the light, which is great. So let's check out the ArkPro green here on the workbench, and just how beautiful this green color is. And I would say the pictures at the end of the day sometimes don't really do it justice. It really is a nice green. Depending on how the light hits it too, it can kind of go from a lighter shade to a darker shade. And it is probably, perhaps next to the silver, my favorite color so far with the ArkPro series. So really beautiful. If you want something that kind of stands out and is a little bit different, then definitely check this out. First thing is the bodies themselves. I have found these very durable over the months that I've used them. This particular one here, I've used it now for about 3 months. This one usually rides in my car or is in the barn, and so it gets pretty heavy use and it's holding up really well. The bodies are made out of their own blend of 6061 aluminum, and I think at the end of the day, in 10 years, we're probably going to be talking about battery upgrades and things for these, because the bodies themselves are probably not going to wear out too much. We've got tempered glass here on the front, and I have found in the 8 months I've been using ArkPro series, very scratch resistant and very durable, really holds up very well. For charging here, we have 2 options. You can use the regular magnetic port that a lot of OLIGHTs use. And then also here on the side, we have a USB-C charger. The USB-C ubiquitous today. I mean, all the phones have gone to it. It's being used increasingly pretty much all over the place and worldwide as well. Now, function is very easy. You use this dial here to rotate back and forth. We can go from UV light to floodlight to spotlight. Now, to go ahead and do turbo mode with this, it is a quick double press. So boom, boom. And there we go. Into turbo mode we go. We can also rotate the dial at the same time between all the different features in turbo mode there. So we can go from spotlight to floodlight if we so desire, back and forth as we need to. Now for strobe mode, this is going to be a deal where quick triple press. Now where I have found strobe mode, I've put my drone up in the air and I'm like, how good is this for signaling? And it's proven to be very, very effective. I've been able to see it from up to half a mile away, which is great for any search and rescue type situation, or you're trying to kind of let other people know your location. That strobe feature, I think, is super useful in that type of situation, to put that strobe on and dial in people to your location. Also too, it can be used to confuse something coming at you. Then of course we have the laser here on the side, and we went over this in the woods, but if we do need to use this here, it's just a press here on the side. And then basically if we need to dial the intensity down, in this case, we can go ahead and do that. Usually the lowest setting for me works just fine. You can dial it up to the higher setting by just holding down the button. You can also, for instance, activate light as we saw in the woods too. So that is there for you as well. In the end, folks, a beautiful green light, and it's a perfect everyday carry light. So many features, functions, capabilities, 2 different charging options, an extremely durable body that's going to hold up for a while, a clip here that works very well, multi-function clip here, and just outstanding light. For instance, last night, getting home late from a concert at 1:30 in the morning, just doing a bear check before I walked back to the house to make sure there were no bears around, as they often are. So different things like that, where these lights, they just come in handy, they're there for you, and they can get a lot of stuff done. So perfect everyday carry lights. Definitely check these out, and y'all have a good day. Check out my other videos too. I've covered a lot of different other OLIGHT products as well. Y'all have a good one.